Hello, everyone. Throughout my lifetime, there have been many trends that have taken the world by storm. You might remember jojobos, a popular hair accessory in 2016, and loom bands, designed in 2011, which provided many children, including myself, with hours of fun. However, one of the more recent trends is not so harmless. Like the trends I just mentioned, they are bright and colorful. The packaging is attractive too. Yet this trend has become an epidemic amongst today's youth. Ladies and gentlemen, guests and friends, my name is Keane, and today I'm going to talk to you all about something that as society, we should be taking more action against. I'm going to talk to you all about vaping. I have never vaped, and I don't intend to start, but that does not mean that I'm oblivious to what vapes can do. Firstly, I'm going to talk about something similar to vaping, which has personally affected me: smoking. Last year, my grandmother collapsed at work and had to have tests done to try and figure out what was wrong with her. A couple of weeks later, we went to England to visit my family for the first time since COVID. When I saw my grandmother, I instantly knew something was seriously wrong. She was still awaiting results, but she looked ill. She was unable to eat and was terrifyingly thin. 4.5 stone, to be exact. The average weight of a 9-year-old. 4.5 stone. It's heartbreaking to see the ones you love suffer. 3 or 4 weeks before my junior cert, she was diagnosed with esophageal cancer, and our world turned upside down. We flew out to England to see her. We couldn't do much from Ireland other than hope and pray for her to get better, and we didn't think she would survive. We spent that summer in England caring for her, bringing her to hospital appointments, and just spending time with her. Over the course of a few months, my grandmother went from being a strong, independent, healthy woman to being unable to eat and care for herself without our support. Thankfully, after an intensive round of treatment, my grandmother got the all clear, but she isn't out of the woods just yet. She still has trouble swallowing and is currently awaiting results from her yearly scan to see if the cancer is back. She will live with the fear of it returning for the rest of her life. She's only 66. Her cancer was caused by smoking. She has smoked heavily since she was only 9 years old. It was considered fashionable, trendy, and everyone else did it, so why wouldn't she? Doesn't that sound very similar to vaping? Smoking was fashionable and considered good for you, but decades later, the consequences are well known. Vaping is fashionable, and many teenagers think it's good for them, but with contents compared to that in weed killer and nail polish remover, it's only a matter of time before we realize the devastating consequences that it will have on people's health. Would you honestly drink a bottle of weed killer or nail polish remover? I'm sure you wouldn't. Yet we, as society, think it's acceptable to inhale a substance with content similar to them. Almost everyone has been impacted by cancer, and according to the Irish Cancer Society, vaping can cause precursor events to cancer. Now, cancer can occur regardless of whether you smoke or vape, but if you could reduce your chance of getting this devastating and potentially life-destroying illness, why wouldn't you? Not only do we have to worry about vaping causing precursor events to cancer, it also increases your likelihood of developing asthma. Helen Stewart, a British MP, stated that vaping was introduced to the UK in 2007, and there has been an increase in asthma since then. Those whose lungs are already vulnerable are being exposed to harsh chemicals causing much more harm than good. This needs to stop. Imagine not being able to participate in sports day. Imagine not being able to have a pet. Imagine not being able to breathe. Children across the globe are being hospitalized because of vapes. Only recently, a young child was hospitalized with lung damage caused by vaping. This, unfortunately, is not the only time a young person has ended up in hospital because of vaping. There was a case where a teenager was given a laced vape, collapsed, and ended up in intensive care. A laced vape, for those of you who don't know, is a vape that is being contaminated with another substance, for example, drugs. Do you want to see the children of our wonderful country, your friends, your family, inhaling something we barely know anything about? Do you want to see them suffer? I know I don't, and I'm sure you will all agree. We need to take action, and we need to take it now. I'm glad to see our government are introducing a vaping legislation, which intends on reducing the amount of young people vaping. This may look good on paper, but as most vapes contain nicotine, an extremely addictive substance also found in cigarettes, we all know those who vape will still find a way to feed their addiction. So what can we do to help educate the people of today on the dangers of vaping? My suggestion is simple. The government needs to roll out a nationwide program educating people on the dangers of vaping in all schools, primary, secondary, and university. You might be wondering, why introduce the program in primary schools? They're only children. The youngest case of a child vaping is 8 years old. We need to educate people on how dangerous vaping can be before it's too late. A recent study conducted by Feroiga Sligo has found that more than 1 in 3 13 to 16-year-olds who currently vape have never smoked before. This is largely down to peer pressure and wanting to be, well, cool. We all have succumbed to peer pressure at some point in our lives. When I was younger, I wanted to partake in all of the latest trends, but this is different. None of those trends were harmful, whereas vaping is damaging people's health. My message to you is simple. Stop. Stop and think about what you could do to your body. And remember, it's okay to say no. The Ireland I want to live in is one where people can make informed, educated decisions before inhaling vapes. We can make this happen. We can be the ones to save our generation. I'm going to leave you with a few words from young vapers. I find it hard to function if I don't vape. None of us really know what we're actually smoking. My oxygen level was so low, I couldn't breathe. Please, don't let this be you. Thank you for listening.